What is up, Dallas Cowboys fans? IndyCar Tim here with your Dallas Cowboys Daily Blitz on Cowboys defeat Monday. As, of course, the Cowboys fall to 6-3 on the season after losing 31-28 in overtime to the Packers at Lambeau on Sunday in a game that really never should have gotten to overtime to begin with, right? I think we were all a little disappointed at the fourth down. I don't know, call it a collapse, a meltdown, a choke, whatever you want to call it. But don't forget that this is the two-time defending MVP, Aaron Rodgers. And I hate Aaron Rodgers. I'm sure a lot of you hate Aaron Rodgers too. But you can't get past the fact that he did what Aaron Rodgers does yesterday. And I know he's having an off season. The whole team's having an off season. They're not a better team than the Cowboys by any stretch. But, blame it on one or two different circumstances or decisions on McCarthy or Dak Prescott, who kind of reverted back to his old self again, I thought, on Sunday. Making some terrible decisions, throwing the ball. He seemed to be confused by the defense. Couldn't make it through all of his progressions a lot of the time, and it just seemed like he was lost a little bit. Like he looked the back half of last season, like he looked against the Buccaneers. Of course, he had the great game against the Bears, but, that's the Bears. So, for whatever reason, the Cowboys dumped away the 14-point lead that they had going into the fourth quarter that allowed the Packers to get back in the game, to tie the game. And then, of course, we all saw the overtime situation and Mike McCarthy and the 4th and 4 from the Packers 35. And let's look at the analytics for a second, because McCarthy's getting lit up for this. And maybe rightfully so. I don't know. I don't know what these coaches base their decisions on in these situations. Some guys are full-blown, what do the analytics tell me? What does the percentages tell me to do? Other guys go based on their gut. Other guys go based on maybe the situation. Do they have momentum? Is the offense playing well? Where are they at on the field? I mean, all of this stuff really goes into account for these decisions, right? So, McCarthy, though, if you look at the numbers, and I was told these are the numbers that were presented to him, all right? Seth Walder's an analytics guy for ESPN. He posted this on Twitter. So the decision to go for it on 4th and 4 from the 35, the opponent's 35, in overtime, go for it, you're looking at a 59.7% success rate. If you kick, 60.1%. So you're looking at the difference of, 0.4%. I don't think you can knock McCarthy for one decision or the other in that situation. Did that decision cost them the game? Well, of course, they didn't get the ball back in overtime. So, yeah, kind of. But I thought there were a lot of other things that happened in the game that probably cost Dallas more. Let's talk about Dak's 2 interceptions. Both of those resulted in touchdowns for the Packers. That's 14 points. Were those Dak's fault? Maybe, maybe not. I know one of those was to Lamb, and Lamb is a terrible route runner. He's got to fix that, and he's got to learn to develop some chemistry with Dak. Now, I know he went off 11 catches, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. Everything looks great on paper for CeeDee Lamb, but if you watched the game, he did not run crisp routes. At least one of those interceptions, I'll go ahead and blame on him. He flattened out his route. He didn't jump under the defender. And that's exactly what Dak told him when he got to the sideline. So, you want to blame McCarthy for this? I mean, I guess you can. He's the ultimate decision maker, and it was his call to go for it on 4th down. But let's spread the blame out. How about the Cowboys' run defense? Good God, what happened to that? Just a lot of things, but, again, let's not dwell on the McCarthy thing too much. Everybody's saying he's on the hot seat, and, maybe he should be, but not for that decision. He's made some worse decisions this year. I think we can all agree to that for sure. So, the good news from the game is exactly what we just talked about with CeeDee Lamb, other than the terrible route running. 11 catches, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's the first time he's gone over 100 yards this season. And this is supposed to be your wide receiver 1 since Cooper left. He hadn't played like it all season. And stats-wise, he looked like it. But, man, you got to bail your quarterback out better than Lamb is able to do that right now. It's ugly to watch sometimes. So, yes, moving on to Minnesota on Sunday, the 8-1 Minnesota Vikings. To be honest with you, I don't think the Cowboys stand a chance in this game, especially if they play the way they played on Sunday against the Packers. So, I'll give you my prediction a little bit later in the week if anybody cares. Nobody cares. I get asked for it on Twitter all the time, so I might as well start doing it on these podcasts. But Cowboys go to Minnesota, 8-1, playing very well. Just beat the Buffalo Bills in maybe one of the greatest finishes to any game I've ever seen in my life, and that includes the Bills-Chiefs overtime playoff game last year. This one was one for the ages. You guys, if you missed it, go back and watch the highlights. It was pretty good. I'm IndyCar Tim. We will do it all again tomorrow with another Dallas Cowboys Daily Blitz. Until then, boys and girls, we'll see you.